Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now we move to our second session. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Nurulain.
Okay, start. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wa mursalin. Sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Good afternoon to all. Okay, I'm Dr. Siti Nurulain Mohd Rum from the Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology, Universiti Putra Malaysia. And today I would like to share on this topic, the Islamic perspective on generative AI, navigating reality and deception. And today I am here not in the capacity as the religious scholars, but simply as a Muslim, feel the responsibility to share what is good. Although my academic expertise rooted in data science and artificial intelligence, but I firmly believe that as a Muslim, regardless of your background area, we carry the responsibility to share or promotes goodness and uphold the Islamic ethics. And this is a little bit about myself. Okay, I have graduated from the University of Malaysia, and I've been in industry for almost 15 years. Okay, started my career as the programmer and holds various roles and responsibility in IT projects. So my research interests span across multiple domains, including data science, database processing, artificial intelligence, and social media analytics. Okay, let me starting by sharing what is generative AI. Okay, so generative AI refers to the artificial intelligence system that can generate new content that mimics human creativity and expression. So generative AI is not just about the data processing, but it is beyond that. Okay, it can't able to generate the original output. And then there are several content that can be generated by the generative AI. Okay, like for example, ChatGPT. So the speakers before keep on talking about the ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT is not just able to generate the essays or answer the question. It can even hold conversation. Okay, and generative AI also have the capability to generate the stunning images, artwork, as well as the deepfakes, and also able to come up with the synthetic videos, music creation like human made, as well as the AI generated films, okay, simulator, avatars, fact speeches look like real. Okay, so how does it all works? Okay, generative AI uses machine learning and deep learning models that are trained on massive data sets. So regardless, it can be the images, it can be a video, or it can be a text. Okay, so to learn a pattern and replicate human-like output. And it also able to resemble human creativity. So AI, in short, is not just a smart, but it also creative. Okay. So the significance of generative AI in our modern society can be seen in these 5 key areas. The first in media and entertainment. For example, generative AI reshaping how a story are told and shared, from a film to the music to the social media. So it influences public opinions, culture trends, and even our understanding on moral. Okay, so the content that we consume daily is also shaping the future, shaping how we look or we see the world. And in education, generative AI help us a lot in the personalized learning. For example, how we access the knowledge. It also helps us on the critical development, as well as it transformative of how people learn and grow intellectually. Okay, and generative AI, the good thing about generative AI, we can use it to spread the spiritual message. Okay, encourage the reflection, and also promote the ethical behaviors. So it is actually one way of how we engage with faith, and also with faith with the values meaning. And in workplace, okay, I think the Dr. Rahani keep saying about the boost efficiency, right? So it is boost efficiency as well as the drive innovation, and it can support us in the data decision making process. So with always, it actually can help the organization to remain competitive with the rapidly changing global market. And in social implication, it can help us on to combating the misinformation and engaging with the communities. So in short, generative AI is not just a technology, but it is also the transformative that touch the every key aspect of our daily life. So it is also shaping the future. Okay. So generative AI, as I already mentioned, that it is able to fabricate, not it's just images, but it's also voice and the videos. So we have to remember that deception, even in a joke or art, it is seen as seriousness in Islamic teaching. Okay, so these are examples of how generative AI can be used for deception. For example, the deepfake of the world leader, Biden and Zelensky, so circulated online. So what is implication of this? Okay, it is actually can interfere the election process, so undermining the public trust in the democratic process. And it also can serve as the war propaganda. And also it's happened when the CEO voice was cloned for the fraudulent transaction. This is give the significant corporate losers as well as this open for the sophisticated cyber crime. And then in the romance scam realm, okay, generative AI also able to fake dating profiles and even carry the sectortion. You just imagine sectortion. I think you have heard about this word. So it is a scam that targets the victims emotionally and financially, so often with devastating personal consequences. And another major concern is the fake news, okay, where AI can generate the misinformation circulated online that can erode the public trust and make confusion. So you see, while generative AI can create or holds immense potential, it is also can be used as a misuse or deception, manipulation, discrimination. So it is very crucial um, for us to maintain the vigilance of use it and trustworthiness, and also implement the safeguard, because this technology keep emerging. Okay, so this is examples of the video of the president of Ukraine, Zelensky. So the video circulated online showing that this president telling his forces to surrender to the Russian forces. So this video is not just undermine the Ukraine moral, but it also highlight that there is a growing trends of the AI generated misinformation, especially in the warfare. Okay, and then I think this one, is circulated online. So this is another controversial when someone trying to visualize health by using the generative AI in a playful or humorous manner. So this is actually provoke the anger between among the Muslim communities. So you see how happy it is. The person, the main characters. You see, this is an insult. The insult of the concept of faith. Okay, and is belittling the suffering associated with the afterlife. And we know that this hell is not our destination. Jannah is our destination, paradise, right? So we have to go to do or practice the Islamic teaching, right? So this is the controversial, and I think you know this is come from which country, right? Okay, this is an example. Examples of the controversials. If you are TikTok users, you see the videos of Tom Cruise showing in the TikTok, showing that he is doing something out of his character. Okay, so yes, it is a deep fix of Tom Cruise, but fortunately, the video is not showing something that illegal or something that offensive or something that controversial. But what I want to say here, that the impersonator has the capability and could image the celebrities' reputation by just showing or make it appear, said or did something that offensive, illegal, or controversial. So there is a possibility. Okay. So this is ولا تلبسوا الحق بالباطل وتكتموا الحق وأنتم تعلمون. So this is the from Surah Al-Baqarah verse 42, and do not mix the truth with falsehood or conceal the truth while you know it. So this ayah preserving the truth and avoiding deception. So it warns us against the blending of the falsehood and truth. So this ayah can be served as a very strong reference, especially for the Muslim developer and their users, for not to contribute or develop the tools that contribute to deception and manipulation. Okay, so Islam offers foundational principles that get how Muslims engage with the emerging technology, especially in the generative AI. So the first one is Tawheed. Tawheed is what? Is oneness of God. So this Tawheed reminds us that all intellectual, okay, creativity, okay, this is originated from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So we are, as a human being, we are not the creator in absolute sense. Okay, we are merely steward or Khalifa. We just use what Allah given to us. Okay, and then therefore we should see the technology as a source, as a truth, but not as an independent source of should see the technology as the trust, not as an independent source of the truth and power. And amanah, the trust and responsibility. So Allah have entrusted us with the intellectuals, okay, responsibility. So we should see a technology with integrity and care, as well as responsibility. And the third one is adil. Adil is the justice or the objective, the main objective of Sharia. Okay, so technology is not be used for oppress or deceive and manipulate. And then the fourth is ihsan. So when we create or use technology, we should aim for benefit, not just profit or conceive. And last one is the avoiding horror. Okay, so Islam prohibits deception, ambiguity, and falsehood in transaction and speech. So now let's explore the Islamic views on imitation and representation. So it is in the classical Islamic jurisprudence. Okay, taswir refer to the creation of images, particularly on animate beings, and the scholars has long debated the permissibility of image making, especially on the animate beings. So this is due to of the imitation of divine creation and the potential of idolatry. Sembah berhala tu. Okay, so the generative AI can create ultra realistic portrayals, raising questions similar to taswir. Okay, so this leads to the critical ethical question. So is it used for education purpose or misinterpretation, or could it potentially lead to shirk? Shirk, for example, idealizing AI generated figures. Okay, so Islamic scholars has emphasized on the niyah or the intention, pure intention, and the context of use. For example, the AI generated image for the purpose of teaching, it is more acceptable than for deception. So this is how Islamic scholars look at it. And then AI, generative AI, also holds the positive, how we can practice the religious, particularly the Islamic context. Because generative AI offers a powerful tools that can use responsibly, can support Islamic learning and engagement. Okay, some of the key opportunities like a Quran memorizing application, so it can help us to memorize the verse. Okay, so it can also help us to learn the tajweed and progress track, and for the automated translation of Islamic text. So this generative AI can help us to translate the religious text in Arabic to multiple languages that can help Islamic knowledge go more global. And virtual Islamic tutors, for example, chat box. Okay, so this can be a platform uh, trained to verify the Islamic source. It can be a platform for a basic knowledge, especially for the beginners or the young learners. Okay, there are some consensus among the Islamic scholars, regarding this on this matter. Okay, AI can be never replace the human qualified scholarship, because Islamic knowledge is not just based on the data, but it's beyond that. It's required wisdom. It is also required the ijtihad. Ijtihad, in other words, is the legal reasonings as well as taqwa. So this is the, because we know that AI is lacking the depth and context. Yeah? So this is all the serious risks that can be, if not managed carefully, it may happen where AI can generate incorrect fatwa and ruling, mimicking a scholar's voices or personalities, and spreading misinformation or diluting religious authority. So this is the risk that if it is not carefully managed. Okay, so how can we move towards the Islamic ethical frameworks? So that is required for the interdisciplinary collaboration. So this means we have to bring together the Muslim scholars, ethicists, and AI developers. So only with these combined efforts, we can ensure that the ethical framework is not just both. It can comply to both the technical sound as well as is comply with the Islamic values. So next is the need to develop a specific guidelines that touch on the key ethical areas, okay, like transparency. So it is must make a compulsory that if this content is generated by AI, so it must be disclosed. And then by doing this, this can prevent the deception and support the honesty. But this is the key elements of Islamic principles. And then accountability, we should ask, who should be responsible if AI causes harm? Is it the individual? Is it the users? Or is it the institution? So we need to have a clearly defined of roles and responsibilities. And then does the use align with the Islamic objective, or known as the Maqasid al-Sharia? So we have to ensure it must be aligned with the Islamic objective. And then consent and privacy. So we have to know that the violating of someone's privacy, it is seriousness in Islamic teaching. Okay, so it seems applied to this generative AI. And then lastly, okay, the formation of AI ethics boards within the Muslim majority country and institution should should be considered. So that by having this board, it can ensure the AI system and then look at the policies, okay, of the AI usage. Okay. So to conclude, generative AI is a neutral tool. Okay, so is value defined by how we use it. So it is not inherently haram. Okay, but it is must be guided by the Islamic values, Islamic teaching, and we are encouraged to embrace the innovation while maintaining vigilance and truthfulness. Okay, Islam provide the robust ethical foundation to navigate this era. So we need to use it with the hikmah, taqwa, and niyah. Niyah is the pure intention, and the Muslim must be active participant, not passive consumer, in shaping the AI futures. With that, may Allah guide us to use these tools wisely, and protect us from the misuse. Wallahu alam with that. Thank you very much. So now let's open for the Q&A session. If let's say I'm unable to answer your question, I think we have two other panels here, more experts.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ain, for excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm just wondering, did Jakim invite you for panel?
So far,
Yeah.
not yet.
I think so.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. If no question, yeah.
You know that the AI itself is unethical because of all the copyrights they took, right? So how do we really engage with them, or are we going to have another AI? Because everyone is familiar with the ChatGPT and so on. They are not going to move from ChatGPT to different AI. And as we know, I always watch the TikTok and they have all these videos, all fakes, and most of them they cannot see the difference in between the fakes and the actual ones.
Exactly.
And how do we put ourselves when the developer themselves are unethical?
Developer and self-unethical. So I think that is a good question. So again, we need to back to what, again, if I already presented the Islamic perspective on this, how is we see the generative AI. So if let's say, because we have to admit, it is not easy to control. I think you also admit it is not easy to control. Although there is some mods to control, that is what Dr. Rahani said just now. So again, to differentiate with our eyes whether it is true or a deep fake is not easy. But yes, again, we need to use the wisdom, the knowledge, and we should be able, as a Muslim, I think something that is not benefit you, you need to don't have to take it. Okay, I think it's easy because Islam has guide us with principles, right? Whatever it is not benefit to you, you don't have to take it. I think that is the way. That is a challenge for us today.
May I add?
Yes, please.
It's an interesting discussion.
Yes.
Yes, that's the main challenge that we're facing now with all these contents, or we can say rubbish contents,
Exactly.
which are not true, which are fabricated, and how do we know whether it's true or not? The main challenge, especially among not only the young ones, even the old ones also, they tend to believe all these videos, TikToks and whatever. And as a da'i, we will say, people who spread, that's it. That's also our responsibility. You have to spread the good things, the correct ones, the right things. We should always tell people not to trust everything that you see online, especially. Because it can be misinformation, disinformation, and so many things. And of course, the concept of tabayun is very important to investigate first, to look at the source. Where does it come from? If I know it's a lengthy process. It has 4 steps, right? We look at the source, whether they can be trustable, or we look at the content. Is it trustable? And so many steps. But sometimes we don't have time to investigate. So if you don't have time to investigate, just don't believe it. Don't straight away believe it.
Exactly.
Things that can be, especially the negative things that can create or disrupt the harmony, or disrupt your belief, your belief system. I think, and what I'm trying to say is that our responsibility to educate everybody,
Exactly.
especially the young ones. That's what I'm very worried about. The children, they see all these contents, right? And how do we tell them as parents? We should tell them, we should control what they watch.
Okay. I do agree with Dr. Izura. Yes, it is. Yes, it's required lengthy time for us to validate whether the source is come from the truth. Again, but it come back to us. We need to use our wisdom. Again, if it is not good for us, just let it go. Okay, let it go. It's not beneficial to us, then just let it go. That's easy. Even if you can't control everything, because see, this is the challenge to raise our kids, especially. You can't say, oh, this is you can't use phone. You cannot say that. You can't control, because we at the same time want them to learn something, right? Growing intellectually, right? So we can't control. But again, the foundation of Islam, the fundamental Islamic teaching should be with us, especially with our kids. Okay, I think that's. Yeah, please.
I think try to divert into our technical part. I used to remember in the early 2000, we are doing the 3D model of face. We try to represent the face, including the texture of the face. And at that moment, we don't even think about the deep fake. But lately, they're using this technology to do the deep fake. And they don't have enough data actually to represent the correct face, because what they have is the frontal face. So, but with this TikTok, the influencer have the movement, so they have enough data from the side view, from the bottom, from
Every angle, right?
every angle. So they will become a very good deepfake that our eyes cannot
Differentiate.
Yeah. So as we are researcher in technical, how do you have any ideas how to divert this deepfake to become something good instead of something bad?
Yes. So I think, the technology is emerging, right? The technology is emerging.
Do you have any ideas how?
Because I am not in this area, so I can't really say about how, in the technical part, how it can be.
For us to ponder.
Yes, we can't avoid it because technology emerging.
Because we cannot throw away this technology.
Exactly.
The deepfake is a very good technology. So we have to think how to divert this into a very good thing that we can do something like. We might create a good teacher so that people can use that, or we might do something instead of we blaming this deepfake.
So I think we can't blame the tools. Tool is a tools. It's a neutral, right? But how we use it. If we misuse it, it can be negative. But if it is good, especially for a teaching purpose, so it can be seen as a very good. So it is back to how we use it.
Responsibility.
Exactly. Yes.
Technology to a very good.
Yeah. Prof. Yes.
I think most of the deepfakes are more of the negative sides.
Yes. It's the name deep fake, right? The name, as the name implies, the fake. Yes, the fake is not something good. Yes, exactly. Okay, I think there's no more. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.